Hello everyone, welcome back to the Swimcloud Fanatics podcast. I'm Sharon, your host, and this episode will feature Maria to talk about her swimming journey, how she got into swimming, and how well she knows the swimming world. Let's get started. So how long have you been swimming for?
I've been swimming since I was 7 years old. That's too much math for me. No, that's 10 years since I'm 17.
Yeah.
Easy math.
Mm-hmm. So how did you start swimming?
My mom decided to put me onto the swim team because I had completed all of the YMCA lesson stages and they kicked me out, basically. And so my mom was like, okay, you're going to go to the swim team. And I was like, no, I'm not competitive. And so I cried my whole first day of practice, and anyone who knows me now can tell you that that's a complete lie.
Yeah.
I'm very competitive.
Was that river rats or gators?
No, actually, it was the Horseheads Thrashers when they were still a thing.
Do you prefer sprint or distance?
I prefer sprint because I don't like swimming distance. I get very bored very easily, and sprint is much more exciting to me.
Yeah. Did you at one point swim distance primarily, or has that always just been?
The longest distance I've ever trained for is a 200. So I've never been a distance swimmer, and I very rarely swim distance events.
So what's your favorite event, and why is that your favorite event?
I would say the 100 freestyle is my favorite event instead of the 50 freestyle, because the 50 freestyle, there's a lot of times if you just make one little mistake, it can ruin your entire race or your time could be really bad. But in the 100 free, you have 2 laps to make it perfect. It's more of a strategy rather than just a crapshoot. And it takes a lot of effort to put a lot of push in. It's fun to train for, and I usually see more results in my 100 free than my 50 free.
Yeah. I'd agree with you. I like the 100 free more.
Yeah.
What's your main stroke or your favorite stroke?
My main stroke right now is freestyle, but that was mostly because I was injured 2 years ago. Before that, it was backstroke or the IM, and I really like backstroke. It's just really hard on my shoulders, and I can't swim it anymore.
Do you like the IM?
I like the IM, but anything over a 200 IM is not a go for me because my breaststroke sucks so badly. It tears down my entire IM. So a 200 IM, I'm good in every single stroke except for breaststroke. So I'm ahead, I'm behind, and then I have to catch up in my freestyle. So
opposite for me because I'm behind and then I'm ahead and then behind again. Yeah. So at what point did you realize that 100 free is like your best event? I
didn't realize the 100 free was my best event until I realized the 50 free was really good. So freshman year, our coaches threw me onto our 200 freestyle relay because they were trying to make states, and it was between me and another senior. Well, I was a freshman, she was a senior, he was tracking our 50 freestyle individual times to see who would be best for the 200 freestyle relay. And I swam faster than her that day, and then they put me into the relay, and I swam a 25.7. Which is pretty fast for a 50 freestyle. Yeah. And after that, I leaned more heavily into training freestyle, and I hit my first under a minute, and then I continued hitting under a minute and realized that, hey, I'm kind of good at this.
Yeah. So what was your main event before that? Had it always been like a 50 free, or did you ever like do anything else?
My main event before I started swimming freestyle was the 100 backstroke. So before Nicole was our backstroker, I was the 100 backstroker. And sometimes they still throw me in there, and I still beat Nicole's times, but that's okay.
Yeah, you were in it like once this season, right?
Yeah, I was in the 50 backstroke, and I used to compete at sectionals, and I would place top 8 in my 100 backstroke, but not anymore.
So what sport do you think that you would do if swimming wasn't an option?
I think I would play a contact sport.
Yeah, I can see. You make swimming a contact sport.
Yeah. I think I would do maybe flag football. I know it's not as contact as it can be, but I played in a couple powder puff games, and it was really, really fun. I used to play tennis. I'm not very good at it, though, so I'm not sure I would continue that. But I don't know. I think swimming is really just the perfect sport for me. It's really hard for me to imagine doing anything but swimming.
Yeah. So, do you have a role model in swimming, and if so, who is it?
I do have a role model in swimming. I have one that was more of like a local and one that's a global superstar. My global superstar is Katie Ledecky, and even though she's a distance swimmer, her dominance in the sport world, and her dedication to swimming is unreal. And every time she beats a new record, and like, I forget which event, it's one of her very long distance events where she holds like the top 20 times in
Is
the
it like the
world.
mile?
I
I think it might be
I think it's the
that,
mile.
yeah.
She holds the top 20 times in the world. Like, I just admire her ability to be so completely dominant in this sport that nobody else can even come close to her.
Yeah.
But my local hero was my senior, when I was a freshman, the seniors on the team. They were such a good example to me and really fueled my love for varsity swimming in particular.
Mm-hmm. So how do you balance swimming and school and other things,
Um,
especially with like time management and stuff?
it takes a lot of work. Swimming usually means that you're out really late, so I have to do the maximum amount of homework that I can do while I'm in school or during my study halls, and I have to be able to delegate my responsibilities. I do a lot of activities outside of swimming, so I'm very busy all the time. I have to cut usually hanging out with my friends as much. I have to save it for breaks or weekends where I have a free spot. But for homework, I just make sure to keep on track. I really try not to procrastinate, and if I do procrastinate, I need to make sure I have a block of time to do the work I procrastinated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really about knowing what is on fire needs to be done right now, or what can be pushed a couple days and wait until I have more time to do it.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that you like to do a lot of other things as well as swimming. Could you mention some of those?
I'm a very big hiker. I take both vocal lessons and piano lessons. Um, I volunteer every weekend at the local hospital. Over the summers, I'm usually to be caught doing an internship somewhere. Last summer, I went to Taiwan for 3 weeks with a foreign language learning service
Oh, that's cool.
company. It was really, really fun. And then this summer, I went to a medical internship. And 2 summers ago, I also went to a medical internship. So
Is that the one you went with another girl on our swim team, right?
I did,
Yeah.
yes. Me and Claire Petticone went together.
So being injured this season, how did it affect your performance in swimming?
Physically, it just made it incredibly painful to practice, but I think the major impact was on my mental state.
Yeah.
The injury happened at such an awkward time where we were starting to train for our championships, and also my senior meet was the next week, and I didn't want to miss it for anything, and it killed me every single day that I had to stay out of practice. The being able to not do what I love, like just being restrained, is really unfortunate, and especially because it was an injury that could have been prevented if I was just a little more careful.
So if you don't mind me asking what happened then.
So, I was working out in the weight room, and we were doing assisted pull-ups with the resistance bands.
Yes.
And I was standing on a little platform to reach the bar because I wasn't tall enough, and I was pulling it down under my foot, and I lost my balance and tried to stick my arm out with the resistance band on it, and I discovered that a 30-pound resistance band is stronger than my shoulder, and so my shoulder popped out of its socket. And I got down and I looked down at Firstus, who's our coach, and I was like, Firstus, my shoulder is out of its socket right now. And he's like, do I call an ambulance? What do I do?
Oh, I do
He's
remember
like
that,
panicking.
yeah.
He was like, do I call an ambulance? Who do I call? What do I do? And I'm like, Firstus, don't call the ambulance. Help me pop it back in. So we spent 5 minutes trying to pop my shoulder back in. I went home. I iced it. Next day, couldn't move it. So I went to the athletic trainer. And then, yeah, that was it. Went to the doctors. Got a huge needle stuck in my arm.
I remember that too. You sent a picture to the
I
group
was
meet.
not happy about it. It's not nice.
Yeah, I remember sometimes in the locker room you would like let people feel your shoulder, and it would be like you could like move the the bone up and down. It was really weird.
I have a connective tissues disorder, which makes all of my joints very hypermobile, so I can sublux my shoulder or pop it half out on command. It's not good for me and I shouldn't do it, but it used to be my party trick before I knew it was a bad thing. So I can do that, but that was the first time my shoulders become fully dislocated, like it came all the way out of the socket.
Yeah. So do you feel that in terms of being injured this season, do you think that your performance and your mentality were connected?
Definitely. 100%.
So how do they like affect each other?
My performances, I wasn't happy with my times, but I had to keep telling myself, like, I'm injured. I wasn't technically supposed to be swimming. Like, the only reason the doctors allowed me to swim is because they knew it was my senior season, and I avoided going to surgery. I kind of skipped every step I was supposed to just so I could keep swimming, and I pushed myself really, really hard. There's a limit to what your body can do when it's injured.
Yeah.
And so I was really frustrated that my times weren't lining up, but I also knew that because I was injured, it just switched my priorities. I stopped focusing so much on my performances and just lifting up my teammates. Like, I knew that because I couldn't perform well, I wanted my team to perform well. But it made me really sad. I just tried to focus on other things.
Yeah. I do remember at this one meet, the coaches were watching you swim your, it was either a 50 or 100 free as usual, and they were saying how one of them was saying that she needs to like get her tempo up and go faster, and the other was saying that he doesn't think that you could physically go any faster because of your injury.
Yeah. I've definitely had a problem with picking up my tempo, and that's because when I first got injured and I first discovered my problem, I spent 2 years in physical therapy, and that was a really long recovery time from that injury because it was so inflamed. But after I came back from that and after I healed, we discovered that I have like a mental resistance to increasing my tempo. Like, I'm afraid to increase my tempo because I think it's gonna hurt. Like, that's my brain. So it took
Yeah.
me really long time to get out of that. And then the second I got out of that, boom, another injury. So
Yeah. I definitely feel like I'm going a lot faster than I am because sometimes my parents like videotape my races. And I
and you're
think I'm
like, la la la
yeah,
la.
as another girl on our team said, I'm quoting her by the way. She said, "Sharon, you need to stop petting the water during your freestyle. Like, I know you're tired, but still, you need to stop petting the water." Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about aggression, and especially in sprint races. And sometimes you think, oh my God, I'm spinning my arms as fast as I can. And you look at
And
a
there's
video
just
and
like,
you're like,
especially in club meets, because then you're swimming with a lot of other people that are like vastly different ages.
mm-hmm.
So you'd be swimming next to this like really small, like 8-year-old or something, and they'll be going faster than you because their tempo is just like so fast.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of younger people, they don't have as much like resistance to.
It's also, I'm not gonna say energy because we are still all very young, but younger kids, before they learn technique, their strategy is because I'm growing bigger all the time, all I'm gonna do is spin my arms. And
Yeah.
it works because you're just getting bigger all the time, so you're gaining muscle constantly. But once you hit a certain age, you stop physically growing, and so you have to start growing your muscle and your technique, and then that's when tempo becomes important, and that's when hitting the gym becomes important and eating well, and you're not just an 8-year-old who grew 3 feet in the last 2 days. So
Yeah. So this season, it was not your first time being injured with sport, right?
nope.
So were there any significant others that you'd like to talk about?
I have one every season. Which one would you like to hear about, Sharon? Let's start with my very first one.
Okay.
So, actually, it only really started, my freshman and sophomore year were connected. So the summer after freshman year, when I was training club, I started experiencing a lot of pain in my shoulders, to the point where I could not swim properly because I couldn't lift my arm above my head. So I went to the doctors, we got it checked out. We couldn't find anything wrong with me, so I started going to physical therapy. And slowly the physical therapy started working, but I worked through that injury and the inflammation that was going around with it throughout my whole sophomore season. I finally got a diagnosis midway through my sophomore season, and so it became easier to do physical therapy and understand it. And by the end of sophomore season, I was doing pretty well. And then junior season, I was doing great. And then in the Watkins Glen pool, me and my co-captain, Morgan Dahlman, were swimming in the warm-up pool and collided. Head first collision in the water. And
Was this like a meet warm up?
yes, it was
Yeah.
a meet warm-up.
Meet warm ups tend to have a lot of people in the same lane, and there's like sometimes no direction whatsoever, and it's really easy to collide with someone else.
Half of the people that were in our lane were trying to do circle swimming, and half of them were trying to go down and back. So Morgan and I was trying to circle swim, and she was trying to go down and back, and we just collided because we both pushed off the wall, and it's such a short pool. Most of us pushed off and didn't have time to look up before we collided. She popped her head up, and I popped up to check on her, and she instantly started crying and stopped swimming, so she was sinking. So I didn't even feel like anything was wrong. I dragged her to the side of the pool. I lifted her out of the pool. I did a lifeguard rescue on her. And then coaches came over, they took her to go get checked out. Coach asked me, "Hey, are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I pushed off to go swim another lap. And I got to the other side of the pool, and I was like, wow, everything is really blurry right now. And I took off my goggles because I thought maybe they were just
So I guess you
foggy.
weren't fine.
I was not fine. There was 4 versions of everybody around me. I had a huge headache all of a sudden. I needed to throw up aggressively. And so I had to go get checked out too. And I lost my sense of smell and hearing on one side of my face, which they thought I was going to have to go to the emergency room because that can indicate some kind of cranial nerve damage or whatnot. And I remember my coach Helsing at the time, I was crying my eyes out because when you have a concussion, your emotions are elevated.
Yeah.
Which is one of the symptoms. But she was asking me, I was like, I don't want to go to the hospital. Just let me go race. Like, I'm totally fine. Nothing's wrong.
That sounds like something you would say. It's always like, I'm fine, but everyone else needs help, and I'm going to go help them because yeah.
And then she was like, Maria, what's more important, your, like, brain health or swimming? And me with tears streaming down my face, snot coming out of my nose. I go, Helsing, swimming! And she's like, no. So I was not allowed to swim. It turns out I had a more severe concussion than Morgan did. She got back in the water about 2 weeks earlier than I did. That was probably my worst injury because it really impacted, like, my mental state.
And that was junior year?
Yeah, I had, like, brain fog all the time. I couldn't really think straight. I couldn't get back in the water. They had to segregate me from the team when I did get back in the water. They gave me my own lane, and, like, I couldn't be in the diving lane because they didn't want a diver to jump on top of me or anything, and it was, I felt very, like, isolated during that.
Yeah.
The shoulders, I'm so used to.
It would be strange to be, like, in the pool, but not
with my team.
Yeah,
it was so odd. I really did not like it.
Yeah. And then senior year was your shoulder, which we talked about.
Yeah. And that was just like a repeat. Like I knew at some point I was probably going to dislocate something. I was just really hoping it wasn't during the middle of my swim season.
Yeah.
So it was unfortunate, but I'm glad that I managed to deal with it pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. So when you get ready for meets, what do? This can be either like the night before, during the day, or even when you're at the pool, like up on the block.
So the night before, I always eat something really carb heavy. So I get pasta or I get a lot of rice and I eat a lot of protein. I always go to bed early and I always chug a bottle of water before I go to bed so that I'm hydrated in the morning because usually we leave pretty early in the morning for meets. And then the morning of the meet, I like to have a bagel with cream cheese, which I'm not sure is the best breakfast. Please don't follow my advice. Or I'll have toast with avocado and eggs if I have them. But I'm not a huge, like, food means everything to me. It just is, like, my comfort food, and so I eat it. On the way to the meet, I have, like, my hype up playlist. I have a song that I listen to every single time before I race. It's No Hands by Waka Waka Flame. And if you ever see me on the bus and you look over at me, I'm probably singing the lyrics at you, and I'm probably dancing on the bus, much to the bus driver's dismay. And then when I get to the meet, I try to keep music in, but I really like to get in the groove, like helping other people put their tech suits on, starting to think about my races and visualize how I want them to go is really important to me. But then when I get behind the block, I feel like all the thoughts leave my head instantaneously. I just can't think about anything anymore, and I get up on the block and I'm like, okay, what event am I swimming right now? Yeah. Got it. Okay, go.
And then you dive in and it's all like fine.
A blur.
Yeah.
It's a blur, and then I get out and I'm like, did I swim good? No, okay. Or I'm like, okay, I swam good. Let's go talk to the coaches.
Yeah, for me, I have pretty bad eyesight, so my racing goggles aren't prescription lenses, so I have to look at the clock, and if I can read it, that's great. But if I can't, then I have to go, like, ask one of my teammates or the person next to me, and I'm like, hey, what time did I get? And one time, my teammate mistook an 3 for an 8, so I swam a 1:23, and she was telling me 1:28. I was like, what? That's like 4 seconds off my PR.
So I went so slow.
Yeah, and it turned out I did break my personal record, and I was like pretty happy about that.
That's great.
So, yeah. Would you rather PR and get last place, or add a huge amount of time, like more than 15 seconds, and still get first place?
I would rather PR and get last place because that's a reality in swimming. Is that, like, you're not always going to win everything, especially when you're in varsity.
Yeah.
Unless you're, like, I don't know, God or Alexis Nail.
Yeah.
But I would, like, swimming is really an individual sport. Like, I'm always the person to be like, swimming is a team sport because that's my job as a captain. But, like, it is, in the end, an individual sport. And the more you improve your times, the more chances you have. So if you swim a better time, you have more chances of winning later. And it's all about your competition on whether you win or not. So I'd rather not add 15 seconds because then the win isn't worth it and you're just disappointed in yourself. You're like, who was I racing? That wasn't even, like, if you drop 15 seconds and you won first place, you weren't even racing against real competition. So.
And I will say, the place that you get is, like, heavily dependent on who you're swimming against.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do you think that one thing is that non-swimmers don't seem to understand, or a common misconception about swimming?
That it's easy. A lot of people are like, oh, I bet I could beat you in a race. And I'm like, yeah, you can try. I mean, can you put your face in when you swim? And they're like training for swimming isn't hard and racing for swimming isn't difficult. It's probably like one of the easiest sports out there. And I would really like to put them through one single 6,000 yard set and see how they do. It bothers me so much. Like, I bet I could beat you in a race. And I'm like, I mean, I bet I could beat you up.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a big difference between swimming for a competition and just, like, swimming for fun.
Leisure fun, yeah. Like, when you're training, that's no longer like I'm paddling around the pool. It's like you're not happy during practice usually.
Yeah, and meets especially important once the officials are looking at you really closely as well. And there's really, like, strict rules that you have to follow to not get disqualified in a race.
Yeah, it's not an easy, like, I can do whatever I want and still go fast and stay legal. Like,
yeah, especially in IM, I'd say that there's really strict rules for the transitions, especially.
Yes, there is. I remember one meet when we were at Union Endicott, we were going to beat them, but it was going to be close. And I'm not sure if they had the officials rigged or not. I'm not participating in any conspiracy theories, but they disqualified 3 of our IMers / butterflyers because they finished with the wall one hand ahead of the other like this. Like,
okay,
literally
but then
like a millisecond
at
apart.
that point,
And one of the people who was disqualified was Angie McCain, who has
that's
been
insane.
training for
Yeah.
butterfly her entire life. So, like...
But then if you go by that logic, it's, like, not even possible to have your hands touch the wall at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So, in terms of your future plans for swimming, are you going to swim either for the rest of high school or in college, like in a club, or for the school?
I'm actually going back to practice today for my first club practice back.
I'm not.
Sharon, come on! Oh, gosh. Yeah, so I'm going to swim club because I want to go to championships, and now that I've had a little time to recover my shoulder, I want to go back to golds and redeem myself in my 100 freestyle because I'm so mad about the time that I had at sectionals. But I probably I won't be swimming like NCAA or anything in college. I maybe will join a club swimming team, but I haven't really decided because I plan on being a neuroscience major and possibly majoring in English or getting a minor in English. So I feel like I'm going to have a lot of work, and I'm not sure that because swimming takes up so much time to dedicate yourself to it, I'm really not sure I'll be able to balance that.
Yeah, it's really hard to be like physically getting good times and breaking your records and whatnot if you're only going to, like, half the practices because you don't have time for, like, anything else. So
yeah, so first John, I can only ever swim Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and first John are like, Maria, we're gonna have to edit all the practices for you. You're gonna get modified practices.
I do Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So,
but the coaches are making a modified practice for me. They're like, you're just never gonna train distance. You're gonna train exclusively for the 50 and the 100. And I'm like, that's fine with me, guys. I really don't mind.
What do you think is one thing that you'll miss about varsity swim and dive after graduating?
My team. I'll miss you guys so much. Like, especially this year, my team felt like a complete family to me. And the years that I've been captain, it's been my biggest pride and joy to lead a team. I will really, really, really miss having an environment and a community that I can go to no matter what at the end of every single day. And seeing them in the hallways and seeing their bright shining faces, or sometimes in Sharon's case, their bright unsmiling faces. But yes, I will really miss my team. Maybe not so much the actual swimming part.
Thank you, Maria. Now, let's take a look at your knowledge of swimming. Where was the location of the 2025 World Aquatics Championships?
Sharon, what? No idea. No, wait. I'm gonna give a guess.
Yeah.
World Championships. Texas.
Not the right continent, but it was Singapore.
Singapore?
Yeah.
I feel like I knew that actually. I watched some of the videos from it.
So you could have gotten that basically.
Exactly. I had it in my back of my mind.
Okay, this one might be a little harder. Who's the current world record holder for the women's 100 breast short course yards? And if you know it, the time.
Oh, Jesus, Sharon. Oh, crap. No clue. What's her name? The evil one. She's not evil. She was just mean at that one Olympics.
Who's the evil one?
She was mean at an Olympics to her competitor, but she just got engaged this year. I can't remember her name for the life of me. Who is it?
It's Lily King.
That's the one! I knew it, Sharon! I knew it! There was beef between her and another competitor at one of the Olympics. She was called mean for that.
Oh, okay. Well,
I knew it! Sharon, yes! Count that as a
you got
point.
it, okay.
I just couldn't remember her name.
I think you can get this one. It's a little easier. Who's the most decorated Olympic swimmer of all time?
Michael Phelps.
Yes. How many medals?
30. How many?
28.
Okay, so I was actually close.
You could have
I was
said
gonna say
39.
29.
You could have said 39. You said 30, but yeah. At the Toronto World Aquatics World Cup, Katie Ledecky's 800 free short course meters world record was broken by over 3 seconds. Who broke her record?
Is it Summer?
It's
No,
not.
no,
She's
no.
from Australia.
Crap. Titmus? No.
No.
Who is it?
It's Lonnie Pallister.
Okay, don't even know who that is.
Okay. You should be able to get this one. What was your first 100 free time?
Sharon! What, like first ever?
First recorded in Swimcloud, yeah.
What? I don't know, like 140?
It was in, okay, I'll give you a hint. It was in 2018. Actually, I don't know how much of a hint this would be, but yeah, it was in 2018, and it was an STSL meet.
133.
129. 44.
Okay. Okay, what? Do you know your first 100 freestyle?
Yes, I do. It was a 139.
Okay, so it's closer to your time than my time.
Yeah.
Oops.
Who holds the NCAA D1 women's 100 fly record?
I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. She's really famous now, and she's like an Olympian.
An Olympian and all that.
Yeah.
Really not sure.
It's... I don't know if I should tell you the hint or not, but it's Walsh is her last name.
All I can think about is Tegan Walsh, and Tegan Walsh does skiing, and she's 17, so
Okay,
that's not the
not
right
her.
one. I know the person. I can't remember her first name though. Who is it?
Gretchen Walsh.
Gretchen.
Yeah.
I keep seeing her on the Swim News TikTok.
Mhm. So one person from our team holds a New York State record.
Angie
Who
McCain.
is it and which event? And by the way, they're not currently on this team.
Angie McCain
No.
and what?
It's not Angie.
A New York State record?
Yes.
That's on the girls' team?
Yeah, I think you were on the team at the same time as her for some point in time.
None of the rest of us broke Terwilliger?
Yes, it is.
And she holds it for this.
The six dives.
Six dives.
Yeah.
Really? She broke the New York State record? I thought you brought the Section 4 record.
It wasn't at sectionals. It was at an invite. I was researching on Swimcloud.
Wow.
Yeah. So, How many individual world records does Kate Douglas have?
18.
3.
Okay.
What was the most recent world record broken?
Wasn't there like a championship a week ago?
So I wrote my script before that, but I don't know if there was any world records broken there. But this one was pretty significant.
Katie Ledecky broke 15 minutes. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's
is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god,
She
I got
like
it.
14:59.
14:59 point
62,
something. Yeah.
And okay, why is Kate Douglas's 100 free short course meters world record significant?
First woman to break something.
What's something?
I don't want to say 50. That seems really fast.
It is.
It's 50?
Yeah, it is. 50 seconds, yeah. Who was the 2025 Female Swimmer of the Year?
Katie Ledecky.
No. If it's not Katie Ledecky, there's like one other that it could be.
Summer McIntosh.
Yes, it is.
I'm kind of good at this.
Yeah.
I'm doing better than Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
It really is mind-blowing how people can reset their own records. Thank you for coming on to the podcast for our last episode. Thank you, Maria, for sharing your story as a swimmer with us. Thank you to any listeners. Unfortunately, this is the last episode of the Swimcloud Fanatics podcast, but it truly has been an unforgettable journey. Remember to be like Dory, just keep swimming.